kingdom from the concrete. Overpower, Prodigy. Yeah, the crown is what I came for. Overpower, Prodigy.
What is up, my dudes and dudettes? All right, we got Charlie and Myles, both 1-0. Looks like Myles is playing Ricky's deck, the good old Wu-Witch Baker. Carson in the back, Watson front line, and Charlie has probably the most awesome deck of the tourney. He has got a Control Zeus deck, so he's got Zeus, Ra, Korak, Jane with Asclepion. Another Control deck against sort of more like mid-range, you know, the Wu-Witch shifting shenanigans. So we'll see if the Control deck can't take it again. Looks like on Myles' side, we have a Watson 6 intellect, all chips on the table. If it lands, both players have to open their hand. And he's got I think the shell card for Carson. Once it's played, it'll soak any hits. A Witch discard. Charlie's got a teamwork, an ally, and a 5 multi. Myles places the Watson heal. Very nice to remove some Venture. No Asclepion trigger for his build, though. It's like a 2 brute force over on Korak. I wonder if Charlie's bidding out or placing out. Looks like he has a discard or 2. He has a 5 and maybe something else. We'll have to do a count. A 1 and a Hades. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 in hand. So Charlie might have regrown 1 if he's going second here. Because it looks like there's 2 cards in his power pack. But he does have some tools to kick the game longer with that Hades and maybe place out ahead. So 1 brute force on Myles's Wukong. It looks like he has 3 in hand. So if Myles is going first, he's probably going to bid 3. Yes, he bids 3. Charlie draws. He kind of likes it. He bids 1. Show me what you got. Charlie's my guy, and I don't really know who Myles is, so no offense, Myles, but I'm impartially rooting for Charlie. Plays a raw staff piece. I don't know if that's the +2. I think that's the card he drew. I think that's the regrow a card from your power pack if you draw an unusable. Very good for later. So now I see why he's sticking in for a second. Oh, wow. And he had the Merlin to deal with the Xinjiang. Now he's going to Hades. Wow. That was really fast, but kind of insane. Myles loses his Gemini and his Fairy. And all of a sudden, they're even on Venture, 7-7 in the reserve. Charlie with 4 cards placed to Myles's 3. Insanity. Played the hand pretty expertly. He's kind of lucky Myles didn't have a big string to throw at him. But the fact that he negated the shell and got his Hades off is nuts. And the raw staff piece out. I think he was probably tempted to run pre-battle until he saw that raw staff piece. There's a Thunderbolt on Mr. Zeus and an aspect. Looks like a Cloud Surfing and an 8 on the other side. There's Law and Order from Zeus. Placed safely back on Asclepion where it cannot be destroyed by a Witch Shiny Shoes. So that'll let him reset the Venture again. So Charlie's trying to take this deep. He's trying to go long. Probably has a big deck. I love this. I love this so much, this control style. 3 multi on the Witch. Curious how many Thunderbolts he has in there, because I'm sure he's got the Banishment and then the Law and Order also, so that's a lot of Zeus cards, but at least Ra can play all the same energy power cards Zeus can play. Everybody's got at least a 5 intellect on Charlie's side. And I think everybody can play at least a 5 brute force with the exception of Jane in the back. Looks like they're deliberating. They're not using dice. Rude. I think he bids 2. Already kind of seen some expert play in hand 1. Charlie being able to get that card advantage and get out of there unscathed. He bets 1. Not feeling super confident. Now, who's Myles going to go for? Is he going to go for Zeus? He's going to go for Raw. Because you're going to have to deal with Korak eventually with that shifting to hidden nonsense. Spending the aspect right away. That's a placing slot he won't get back, but that 2 is kind of a must block. When he plays open your hand, discard 2. So Charlie's going to have to shuffle. He's got no other negates other than that Merlin he already spent. But it's not an attack. He can't do that. Charlie correctly calls out. The 2 aspect says any front line may make an additional attack. Carson isn't front line, and that's not an attack. So he double cannot do that. Sorry, Myles. Good call on Charlie calling that out right away. It's very easy to get in the zone and just assume every play is legal, but that was a good catch. Shiny shoes. Love it. Tried to get rid of the T-bolt, and he shifts it to Korak. Says, I will lose this too instead. Not sure what Myles was doing there. Technically, you can't go through your dead pile, and he put the any heroes in there also, but his Gemini's gone, so it's not like he can go through there anymore, but got an ally coming from Raw, a red 3, and then he goes to the Gemini, and he goes and recycles and pulls his teamwork back. Yeah, I was about to say, he can just play that. So Charlie shuffles. Of the 4, he's going to pick 3. Bottom 3. And then the card processes, and then Baker processes. There's a teamwork, an 8, and then a 5 or a 6. Charlie chooses the 6, and then Myles chooses the 8. Looks like he has a 6 and a 7 in his hand. Charlie's got a lot of power cards. I wonder if that means he's not going to see them later, or what the deal is. There's a 4, make a dish. Oh, 6 for the kill. Is Watson going to go down? He does have the cloud surfing, but it will not draw him a card. And that lets Charlie know that the next big energy hit to come out, whether that's the 7 or the 9, is going to kill him. Oh, I stand corrected. Heal, combat medic. Watson's just doing open surgery on his own abdomen in the middle of combat. Seems legit. Smartly taking that brute force icon away and forcing a concession from Charlie, because now he no longer has the spectrum. He could throw the 7, the 9, and the 1, but 3 attacks, and then a lot of stuff's going to come back his way, so I kind of like the concede right there. And we're at 4 cards to 1, 2, 3, 4. If you count Law and Order, it's not a venture card, but 4 to 4. Ooh, gross. He has 2 duplicate Korak cards, but he has the raw staff piece, so he gets to go through his power pack and pick one. That is so nice. All 3 of the 6 or less is the same hand. That's pretty rough, though. And I think with all this team defense, like the Korak 6 or lesses, and then I believe Charlie also runs a fairy and obviously a Freya. So in order to get value out of that, if Zeus gets targeted, like you kind of have to wait and then start chucking your Thunderbolts later, which I think is his whole game plan. Like delay, 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 and then dump your big attacks at the end after he's gotten value out of everything. But that staff piece has paid for itself now, so now it's a nice 1-to-1. And now anything else it grabs is a card advantage. Places the raw staff, the shards, +2 to defense for the whole team with power cards. And an ally on the Zeuster. Don't know if he has any food for it, but we'll see. Curious to see what Korak cards he has as well, because Korak has that little Assassinate 3 energy, which is really hard to block, but in Charlie's deck, an energy dominant, he probably doesn't even run that. It's unfortunate it's not red or green. But Korak does have a red and green attack different. 4 and a 6, the 4 can combo, so... Alright, we got a Staff of the Monkey King on the other side, a Teamwork, and a Watson Baker Street Open Your Hand reveal. Well, not really open your hand, it's just peek 2. And then he's going to discard 1. Still relevant information. Charlie goes 1 again. So awesome. He just feels so comfortable with that Law and Order. Like you can just slap that bad boy down and just, oh, we reset the venture. All those gains are gone. And Ra does have a hit, but he also has Raw heals and... Oh, love that. He throws a 3. That might have been a little error by Myles, throwing a 3 into the Raw staff piece with the 1 placed to him. Maybe he hasn't faced a lot of Raw, and he doesn't know he can pop that Universe card defensively. And the follow-up is the Grim Reaper. Ruh-roh. Loses an 8 and a 7 and the Thunderbolt and the 5 multi. Oh, it's devastating. It's devastating. And now he runs Freya, a 6, and a Witch 4. Yeah. Yep, Charlie correctly says, please show me all your cards as you discard them. It's improper to discard your whole hand in a pile, because your opponent does get to see every card that you discard. So it's just good common practice to show them all face up one at a time. And, you know, you look at your opponents or you do yours first. Here's what I'm ditching. And you show them all. Make it nice and easy to see. That way there's no accusations of angles going on. I know it's people trying to jam a lot of hands fast, and he knows that there's going to be a venture reset, but looks like we have 1 dupe on each side. Myles had a dupe 8 energy, and he put it on the bottom of his power pack. That's not allowed. That needs to go at the top. All discards go to the top. He doesn't have Anubis on his team, but that is the correct order of doing things. But Charlie didn't catch it, so we're all good. It's a 6 any power on Korak. Couple teamwork on the other side. Power card to Watson. Looks like a 5. 4 multi to Zeus. Block up to a 6. It's nice. Another teamwork, so. And then a Thunderbolt. So we got 3 teamworks on Myles' side. He has a lot. And there's an 8. And a raw heal. Waters of the Nile or something like that. That heal will be clutch to get rid of that 2 multi, draw an attack. Interesting you place the 8 to Raw and the 4 multi to Zeus. He must have a build where he really wants Raw to be the last guy remaining and not Zeus. Myles bids 3 or 4 for the win. We don't have dice this time, so I'm not exactly sure. But Charlie, I think he drew 1. And this is the hand where he's going to need to... He's going to need to do... yep, there's the disorient. No teamwork for you. Buy back some time. He's going to need to drop that Law and Order. Myles, again, going through his piles, which you're not supposed to do. Not supposed to do that. All right, there's a banishment from Zeus. Cannot attack, and he's playing that on the Wicked Witch. You may not attack. Myles still about halfway through his deck, and he has yet to see a trickery or a harness, I'm pretty sure. He might have one in hand, but... I mean, even if you shift that, it's still really annoying because it's still locking up 2 to 3 attacks minimum per character, so... I like that banishment coming out early. He does have the trickery, and it goes to Wukong. He's going to lock up that 1 and that 6 instead. Now he can shift everything to Wukong, which means that's Charlie's new target. Gotta hope he doesn't have the Venture Cleanse. There's another teamwork. Freya. He's going to follow the energy teamwork with multi. 5 multi. Avoids with a 6 or less. And there will be no third because Wukong cannot attack. Now Charlie will probably pop the heal or an ally into the heal. Maybe he's going to save the heal for a little bit just in case he has to stop a big venture card with it. But I gotta imagine he's going to go for the draw. It's like ripping a Thunderbolt off the top or something would be very nice. Three ally. Now, question is, do you pile on? He's giving him the option. I don't love that because he can just trickery everything to Wukong. Yeah, just throw everything at Wukong. Don't give him the option. Goes for the heal. Heals a 2, draws. He draws an ally. But he's going to save that 8 for defense just in case. Really wants to keep Ra up and alive. That banishment this hand is really clutch because like there'd be so much more speed coming from Myles' side if he can double follow these teamworks and then get those attacks off of Wukong as well. Really just threaten. He's gonna go with the Watson Peak. Show me 2 cards playable by X character. He picks Ra. And he shows him the ally he just drew. Discard. Which means his last card is either a Korak or a Zeus special. Law and Order. Oh my god, I love that so much. Reset the venture. Everything ventured is from the middle. So everything goes to the middle. Reset. So baller. I like Charlie's deck so much. It's so awesome. And I love to see it hanging here with this Wu-Witch cancer that me and Ricky have created and tweaked. Another teamwork. There's a 6. I'm surprised he doesn't block that with the 4 multi, to be honest, because I guess it's not a venture for the win anymore, but... takes it. So now Charlie can run away. He's seen a lot of bombs from Myles' side, and he should win the long game here. He does run. He had a Thunderbolt left. He can still defend Zeus. Probably wants to see that Korak shift. Now, really the only thing left he has to worry about on the other side is Harness, which doesn't really matter when it comes to Venture, just when it comes to KO. He's seen both of Carson's bombs, the Fairy, the Gemini, the Trickery. the Freya, the Witch 8 multi, which I think is still placed there. I mean, he hasn't dealt with that yet, but he's seen a lot of crap. Myles got to end this game sooner rather than later. So I think the longer it goes, the more of an edge Charlie has. And if he draws that Korak shift, it's just open season. Yep, there it is. There it is. He's already seen 3 of the avoids and now that. So at most he has 1 or 2 Korak cards left in his deck. And that will keep his 2 big energy guys. Ooh, there's a heal. There is a heal. Can cleanse one of those hits from Zeus. I think this is the beginning of the turnaround. Myles trying to keep up with placing. He's got 2 intellect cards on Watson. 1 hit on Wukong, 1 hit on Watson. Those guys are pretty healthy. He's just kind of run through a lot of his good stuff. And now he finally finds his Merlin. Just pretty much a Thunderbolt stopper now. I guess he could offensively get rid of that Korak card, but it's going to take some time. Bids 3 again. Gives Charlie a card. What could he have? Charlie's thinking about bidding 3 back. I know he likes his hand. Goes with 2. All right, no more resets. Hades is gone. Law and Order is gone. Myles is like, let's freaking just play normal without resetting Venture, please. That'd be great. 4 make a dish at Raw. Takes it. Which I kind of like because you can always shift stuff later. Yeah, there's a Snevin at Zeus. He could just block it, or he could shift to Korak and block with the 6. That +2 from shards. Yep, there it is. He blocks with a... Oh, he blocked a 7 with a 3 because it's -2 and then it's +2. Oh, that's awesome. Taking him straight to Value Town. Now, I mean, Myles could have thrown that ally first to have a 1, 2, 3 string. Maybe he's saving it for something. Chain into the staff, whatever. Maybe he wants a couple of 2 to 3 attacks instead of 1 really long string. That's fair. Gets him to spend the Merlin on the healing, which I really like because now he has nothing that can deal with the Korak. So that was actually a great heads-up play by Charlie to bait that Merlin out because it's either I heal Zeus and I draw another card, and you bet 3 this hand, or 4 for the win, something like that. I just think Charlie has too much Venture to lose. Takes the 3. Myles was running out of cards real quick. Charlie still has a fistful. They both have a lot placed. Unfortunate that Charlie can't use that 7 energy in his hand to block with Korak, but I think it's fine. There's the 6 from Wukong coming across as a 4. Charlie just needs a 2 to block it. He might have to spend that 6, though. Oh, he plays a fairy. Nice. It's just an avoid 1 attack, pretty much. Because he targets one of the other 2, and it shifts right to him still. Slides under that fairy. She's explaining. Ooh! Another reason to bait the Merlin. The grimmest of reapers. And Myles is looking around going, I has no fairy, I has no Merlin, I has no Freya, and I has no cloud surfing. So goodbye, 3 or 4 cards. Can he protect the 8 multi? Calls intellect, 1, 2, 3, just rips apart that placing advantage. And the Watson 7. Oh, Charlie has just flipped this game on its head. Still sitting with piles of venture, and Myles is down to a couple cards in hand. He might be able to draw harness and, you know, pull a good turn off, but he is, if he loses venture here, which is likely, it's very, very going to be a big hole to dig out of if he has 3 or 4 in the bottom. Now he is still up on venture. He's just down a lot of cards. Korak, it looks like, has 12 damage. And he spends his last card in hand. Blocks with the 6, which is an 8. So now Myles is open-handed with an 8 and a 1 showing, and the 1 is not scary to Korak. Charlie's job is to unload all the cards in his hand and then ride this placing advantage in as long as possible. He throws the 7, and Myles runs. He doesn't want to lose everyone. There goes another Thunderbolt, a Jane 2. Oh! Jane 2 for the kill. And he's dead. Jane 2 thrown post-concession. Charlie almost forgot. That was clutch. Nicely done. Bye-bye, Watson. Charlie is in control, solid control of this game. 2 hits on Zeus, 1 hit on Ra, a few hits on Korak, but everything's still shifted to Korak. Has an event. Ooh, shimmy shift. Now that's interesting with the Korak because if he picks Korak and Myles just targets like Zeus, oh, he picks Zeus, so it can be shifted away from Zeus. Interesting. And he has a dupe 8 and a dupe Thunderbolt, which means he has 2 more Thunderbolts in his hand, but he gets to go through his power pack and regrow because of the Raw Staff. So now the Raw Staff piece is +1 card. I'm coming around on that. I do think that's pretty nice for a control build. There was like a game I saw, it got 0, and I was like, what a bummer, what a waste of a turn. But there's games like this where it gets multiple, and so I do see the value. Charlie just has so many cards. Yeah, there's Harness. There's Harness. Unfortunately, Myles can't bid for the win here. And that's a raw 6-8, which is not an 8 against any of Myles' dudes because it's only an 8 against big 7 or higher brute force dudes. And Wukong is close at a 6, but not quite there. Another 6, which is what he went back with the raw piece. So it's basically an avoid 8 or less for Korak. Love that. Or rather, 10 or less. Myles trying to catch up. Ooh, raw. Delete all copies of a card. Smartly placing that as his final placed card. So you want to give that info to your opponent as late as possible in case Myles 1 and runs here. Try and catch up on cards. Throws a Snevin down on the Witch. He's kind of realizing how much trouble he's in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards to Charlie's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know who Myles picked for the event, but Charlie just bids 2. I like it. Conservative. The longer the game goes, it's fine, because like Myles doesn't have Spartan or Drax Armory or EFL or something else, so the raw staff piece +2 combined with the Korak -2 means that unless he's playing against like a super pro in the power pack who has their power pack built perfectly, which I can see he has a 1 and a 2 that are the same color, so that is already kind of like the 1 isn't threatening. To Korak, it's not a must block. So Charlie basically has a huge edge the longer this game goes. Throws a 3 energy. Here comes Harness. Shift it to the monkey. He might be able to do a full heal here. He goes with the raw Eye of Schemet, Sekhmet, whatever. You're going to have to delete something and all copies of it. That's another power pack advantage he's going to have. He's going to get rid of... Probably shift it to Wukong and get rid of the 1 or the 6, but I mean, they're about to hit power pack, so you might even want to get rid of the 1 so it's just not ever recycled. So he gets rid of the 4. Gotta go through his deck and his power pack. Delete all 4s. Might have 1 as a hit on... He's going, where's my other 4? Oh, it's just put in the wrong pile. I was going to say it might have been a hit on Korak, but now he's down a whole power card. So when they draw an 8 to 8, trying to draw phone books, right, 1 through 8, he will always whiff on 4s, giving Charlie yet another late game advantage. And he has still yet to land a Thunderbolt. He's just been holding them. We know he's got 1 in his hand. I think they're about to come down. It's like end game. He's going to rain them down. Looks like Myles has that Witch 7 1-eye in his hand, but he's just like, how do I get through this annoying Korak thing? If only he had saved that Merlin for either the Reaper or the Korak card. But then Charlie would have won last hand even harder, so kind of put him in a tough spot. Now, for new players, you want to always attack. I mean, it's already gone, so it's irrelevant, but just as good practice, if a Korak shift is out, never attack Korak, because if he has any hero shift in his hand and you attack Korak, he can use it and shift it away, because there's only 1 max shift per action. But if you throw it at Ra or Zeus, then it auto shifts to Korak, and he cannot play the any-character shift. So, good little tip to keep in your brain. Throws a 6, Charlie blocks with a 3, and that kind of feels bad. And here comes the first Thunderbolts. Shift it wherever you want. You will take it. And I think Myles is either just going to ready to let Wukong die, or he's going to pull the full heal. If he has a full heal, I think now is the time. Because he's got a lot of damage on him. Throws a Snevin at Korak. Probably for the kill. He's got a lot of damage. Oh no, not for the kill. He takes it. Another Thunderbolt. Insanity. Charlie's like, I'm taking this. I'm taking this venture. Raining down 9s from above. It's found a great way to mitigate that Zeus negative inherent or not negative inherent, but negative of the Thunderbolts, where as soon as they land, can't defend Zeus with specials, with the shifting, the event shift, and then the raw power card staff boost. And then the heals. So really, he's found all the ways to mitigate the downside of that. Myles wants to keep fighting. Now maybe the one's a kill shot. I can't tell how much damage is on Korak, but... Snevin, that's for the kill. Block with the 6. A raw 6. Half multi. Blocks with a 6. Yep, you don't want that 2 colors to hit you. It's pretty annoying. I believe next hand they're going to be in power packs, so... That venture reset, the double venture reset's just unreal. Finally, Korak goes down to the 8-ball corner pocket. Coming across as a 6, but it is enough. Myles shifts the 4 multi to Carson. I don't think he has the Wukong heal at this point. He would have played it, right? I mean, I guess Harness gives you all the time in the world, but... Charlie still has 1 card left. Still got a big 8 on Raw. Myles has a 1 and an unknown card. Yep, I like throwing the 1. I think that's the second hit on Raw. He blocks. Wow, he spends a 7 to block a 1. Insanity. But he does really want to keep Raw up, and I get that. He is the insurance plan for late game. Although, you know what's unfortunate about the staff is... Oh, wow, he passed. He does have the heal. What just happened? Is Myles going to win the venture now? Holy Krakatoa. I think Charlie passed and then he pulled the full heal, saving the 8. Interesting. I don't know why if he has 1 card left you don't chuck it, but... So Myles wins the venture. Somehow. Due to Harness plus the full heal. What I was saying a second ago is the one thing I don't like about the Raw staff is that since it lets you go through the power pack, every time you recycle your power pack, like right now, Charlie's going to have nothing to pull if he draws a dupe, at least for this hand. Might have to build a pretty big power pack to make it make that happen. Both gentlemanly say, nah, we're good on the cuts. No need. See what's left. Oof, Korak card and the dupe 8. Yeah, I do kind of wish he would have thrown that 8 last hand because I think Raw's, yeah, he's 2 hits from KO. Myles only had 1 card left, so you could have for sure chucked the 8. I don't think Wukong could have taken it. He would have died. So you would have had an 8 on either Witch or Carson, and then you wouldn't have duped on that 8. But, you know, hindsight is all, you know how accurate that is. Myles has his own 8 on the Witch, which means Wukong will not be defending any 8s. Charlie does have 1 healing Waters of the Nile left, so he's got to time that well. He doesn't want to draw into like a 6, 7, or an 8 as a dupe. But it could just also erase a big hit venture-wise. Myles threatening some speed with this teamwork, although the bonuses from it, not enough to get over that Raw staff. And at this point, I think Charlie doesn't even care if Zeus dies. He's seen all his stuff. Raw really is the late game linchpin. Starts with the teamwork. Blocks with a 3. Get value out of that +2. He's like, how does a 3 block a 4? Oh yeah, the Raw staff. It's still there. Follow up. 3 multi coming across as a 4 probably. Nope, just a 3. Blocks with a 1. Nice. Now Charlie has his 1 in there, so if he dupes next hand, I guess he can go back and get that, hopefully. There's the 8 at Zeus. Could block it with a 6. Could also just let him die. Yep, he lets him die. I don't hate that play at all. Zeus has done his job. His duty is completed. Goes for the heal and draw. And it's a keeper. Draws a 2. Lucky draw. 4, make a dish at the witch. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, yes, Asclepion says whoever heals gets to draw and then attack. Oh, yeah, the 8 is on my dude, not your dude. Would be a second color. He can just chuck the 8, though. Like, yeah, he's got to block with a 5. Up block. I like chucking the 8 because the 8's gone on the other side. Throw the Zeus, Charlie. Throw it. I know you want to keep it for defense, but you can stop everything else he has. Did he really say no additional? I guess he doesn't want to get in a situation where he trades Raw for Witch. It'd be pretty bad for him. Takes the 2. But he was fresh because of that healing, so... Gonna throw his own 2 back? No, if it was a 5. Because he knows Myles has to outblock this because he's seen his 5. Clutch Power Pack plays. Power Pack is a whole different animal. Gonna be so careful. Takes it and then throws a 6 right back. Only playable by Wukong. Blocks with a 6 plus 2. Charlie can't pass. So he's debating. Do I throw the 8 or do I throw the 2? I think Myles only has 1 left. There's a 2 for the Spectrum. Plays it safe. Let's Witch die. Now, Myles is winning Venture, 10-7. Charlie has an 8 left, so Charlie could win Venture if he takes this hit, whatever it is. But is it worth? Myles really thinking hard. Did he redraw his 1 brute force? Because that would just be real unfortunate. So I really like having their 1 and 2 different colors in your power pack. So that when you get to this type of duels, your opponent can't just eat them both on the same character. He does run, and he had a Disorient left, and there's no Teamworks on Charlie's side. So Charlie is, once he dupes here, he's going to be able to go and get his 2 or his 1 out of the power pack, which is nice, which brings him to, I think, +2 cards for that staff since he drew it nice and early. So unusable 8, or dupe 8 rather. Oh, gross. Charlie has 3 discards, but he gets to go get 1. Myles had 2 discards, I think. But Charlie has that 8 placed, so... You guys are running out of time. Oh, wow, he has another dupe one as well, so... Charlie's like, keep him coming, keep him coming. I think Charlie's up a card or 2 now. These guys got about 4 minutes left till last hand, so... Where the Venture stands is going to be very clutch. Charlie might feel he has to make a big bet here and then take it down. Can't quite bid for the win. He does bid 5. Myles gets to draw 3. But if he remembers, there's going to be no 4s on Myles' side because those were erased by the raw card earlier. Oh, he changed his mind. Maybe 3, maybe 4. 4. I like that bet. I like 4 better than 5 because 5's not for the win. Good odds he's going to draw 1 or 2 duplicates. But 5, I mean, if he gets 2 keepers on a 5, you're like, ugh. And he's eaten the 2. He's taken the 2 on his raw, so it's possible that Myles can only keep 6 cards at most. Unless he runs multiple 2s. One keeper, 1 dupe. So I think in a perfect world, Myles has a 1, a 3, a 5, 6, 7, 8. He can't have a 2, he can't have a 4, unless he has dupe 2s, which is unusual, unlikely. Charlie's only down 1 card. He's got 7. Myles bids 2. 2 minutes left till last hand, so this one is kind of a last hand. Super clutch. The 7. Blocks with a 7. Well, it's interesting because Myles has the luxury of taking hits, but at the same time, if Carson goes down, he loses all of those high energy cards. Blocks a 3 with a 2. 8 at the 7, max 7. Love that. Unblockable. That's how you force some value out of the raw staff. Because he literally cannot block that. And then when he throws his own 8 back from Wukong, you can block it with a 6. Unless he throws it at Jane, which isn't really helping him much, but what a game. It's a 5. Blocks with a 3. Against raw staff, you want to be throwing your lowest stuff possible so that they don't get value out of that +2 every turn. It's possible Myles has not played against a lot of raw or Korak and he doesn't know. Wow, let's Korak die. Charlie gets his 4s back into circulation. There's a 1. Same color. Okay, I'll take it. It's the downside to them being the same color. Now he's going to be out a 1, a 2, and a 4. So he's down 3 cards next hand, even if he drew perfectly. He has pulled some surprises this game. Don't get me wrong. Like, I think Myles is solid. He just had some, I think their experience, or rather lack of experience, mistakes. Not knowing what you're facing can be very detrimental. I don't know if that's a 5 or a 6. I forget that art. Looks like one of them. He blocks with a 6. And then he throws the 8, and he blocks with a 6. So 12 damage to 1. Charlie wins. Now Charlie can bid 3 for the win. 20 seconds until last hand. Now he has a commanding venture lead. Man, I know I've said it so many times, but Charlie's deck's so freaking cool, man. I want to build that. Or a tweaked version. It's so awesome. I love control decks. They're definitely not like my style, but they're awesome. A huge difference from the dump 5 attack spectrum decks or the monster venture decks. Very, very cool. Two discards for Charlie. Myles somehow has an unusable 7 in his hand. 7 energy. Carson's dead, so bids 3. Yep, you gotta discard your duplicates first. It's a dupe 6. He goes 2 for the euchre. Charlie's bidding for the win. 7. Myles tries to block with a 7 energy. Charlie points out correctly. No, you will not. You will not block with that 7 because he cannot play that card. Ruh-roh. And there's the handshake. GG's. Yep. Taking out both the energy characters was pretty clutch. Charlie just whittled him away. That was such an awesome game. Like, Myles definitely pulled out a couple surprises, and unfortunately he had to eat a 4-card Reaper. But, I mean, Charlie had to eat a 3-card Reaper earlier that were all monster numbers, so... what a game. What a game. Back and forth. The harness hand was pretty good. He was able to mitigate stuff and force Charlie to stay in. Some serious big bets. But the Hades and the Law and Order just bought Charlie enough time to turn it around and do the control things that it is supposed to do. And then Korak as the sacrificial lamb did his job. The raw staff pieces did their job. Literally everything was firing on all cylinders, you know. I mean, he didn't have like a perfect draw by any means, but very well played by both people. And Charlie took it down. That was an awesome, awesome game. Looking forward to seeing more of these two fellas in future games. So, yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about Charlie's deck. Like, that is so unique, so awesome. I hope we see more ingenuity like that in the future. I'm sure this is not the last we'll be seeing of him or his concoctions. So, go ahead, drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Till next time.